My name is Duncan Williamson and I'm the Food Policy Manager at WWF UK. I head up our work on food in the UK and globally I lead our work on sustainable diets. The threat of climate change, for me, I think is one of the most important and challenging threats we have. It's going to affect every aspect of our life, from our energy, from water, and particularly our food, both crops, how they're grown, and the nutrients in the crops. Well, we know that first of all, we know food is a huge contributor to climate change. It's 14.5% global GHG emissions minimum. It's one of the big ones. It's the forgotten sector of climate change. Everyone looks at energy. But when it comes to meat and dairy, they're the big part of food. It's the whole meat and dairy system, not just direct emissions from livestock, but also from the feed. So soy in South America, etc. That's another part of the emission. It builds into the overall picture, but that also drives things like land use change, soil erosion, deforestation. So food is everywhere in the climate change debate, and meat and dairy is probably the engine of that. I think food is a really challenging one on climate change, because climate change is an issue a lot of people find very hard to engage with. Food is something we do every day, and putting the two together is really quite hard because they seem so disconnected. And as people, and we're also disconnected from where our food comes from. So this whole idea that our food impacts on the natural world, causes biodiversity loss, and is driving climate change is really hard for people to get, because we buy our food in supermarkets, we don't very rarely grow it, and it often comes in packets, often already made for us. WWF is doing a lot of work on food. For us it's a priority. We recognise that over 60% of global biodiversity loss is attributed to the food system. So we've been working for a long time on certification, so we helped set up the Roundtable on Sustainable Palm Oil, the Marine Stewardship Council, MSC, and we've been doing a lot of work in that area. We are also doing work on the other side, consumption. We were the first global environmental NGO to start working on sustainable diets. We have our Live Well programme, which was the first time anyone anywhere defined a sustainable diet, and we've shown that a sustainable diet can be both low carbon, healthy and affordable. And this work is going to carry on. We're doing a lot more work around it, working with the food service sector, such as companies like Sodexo. We work with Outpro, and we're trying to get better at working with companies to facilitate a move to sustainable food choices as we move forward. And for us, we're going to keep doing that. Our work on Live Well is developing. Our most recent Live Well plate, we've even included a vegan plate in it, because we recognise we need to look at a variety of food choices to facilitate this change. I would definitely consider going vegan for 7 days. I don't think it would be that much of a problem. The more I've learned about the impacts of food on the natural environment, I've realised you need to cut down meat and dairy, and I think there's some fantastic opportunities around not eating meat and dairy. I think there's so many choices, so many foods you can try, so many cultures which have many varieties of vegan dishes, that I think this challenge could be very exciting, and if anything, it'll open up my taste horizons. My biggest challenge that I'll face as a week of going vegan is probably going to be eating out. I've noticed that in many restaurants the vegetarian and vegan option is an afterthought. It's nearly always vegetarian, just with loads of cheese. It's nearly always pasta or risotto. And I think that's going to be the challenge, because I think vegans are treated quite poorly by the out-of-home food service industry. I think my friend next to me would be quite excited about it. These chaps and chapesses, these gorillas, well, if you think about it, they're some of the biggest animals you could ever see. They're huge, they're strong, they're social, they live in the wild. Everyone looks at them and goes, wow, they're amazing. And they're pretty much vegan, so I think they'd be on board.